Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it is time for me to finally do a video. I apologize for my voice. It's been pretty much non-existent for the past week or so, so I haven't been able to do any videos, but what I wanted to do today is sort of get caught up on the Halloween 15. These are the 6 movies that I would have reviewed had I had a voice for the past week and a half or so. So I'm going to do these in the order that I reviewed them. The original reviews appeared on my website, movieassault.com, and I'll just let you know briefly what I thought about each of these films and tell you a little bit about each one. These aren't going to be in-depth reviews because I don't want this to be a terribly long video, but I did want to get you caught up on what I was watching for the Halloween 15 this year. So first up is 1978's Dawn of the Dead, which was directed by George A. Romero. This, of course, is a sequel to his 1968 movie Night of the Living Dead, and this follows 4 people who escape from the city of Philadelphia and hole up inside a shopping mall outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and have to deal with the zombies and the zombie menace there. It's full of interesting social commentary, great performances. The makeup effects by Tom Savini are fantastic. The story is great. I can't say enough about this. This is an American classic. I had forgotten how much I enjoyed this movie because it's been over 10 years since I watched it last. And actually ended up watching 2 versions of this. I watched the extended version, and then I watched the U.S. theatrical version. I preferred the U.S. theatrical version, but the changes are, I mean, they're mostly cosmetic and some musical changes. You're not really missing much by watching the theatrical cut. But this is an excellent movie and damn well worth seeing. This is a 10 out of 10. Next up is Frogs from 1972. That is this one here on this double feature disc that I have. And this was directed by George McCowan. It stars Ray Milland and Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark. It basically consists of a bunch of shots of frogs while other animals kill people. It's part of the 1970s Nature Strikes Back movement, of which there were many, many, many movies. But this concerns a sort of business mogul who is wheelchair bound, played by Ray Milland. He is polluting his island that is in the Everglades in Florida, and basically nature strikes back and starts killing off his family. It's not very scary, it's not very interesting, and like I said, most of the movie is made up of shots of frogs, and then they show somebody getting hurt by a tarantula or a lizard or a snapping turtle, and then they cut back to the frogs, which is to imply that the frogs are somehow controlling all these other animals. It's really stupid. It's not even so bad it's good. I really didn't like it at all, and I give it a 2 out of 10. Next up is 2017's Happy Death Day, which stars Jessica Rothe and Israel Broussard is his name. He's the guy that plays Carter. And this was directed by Christopher Landon. This is sort of a horror version of Groundhog Day, where sorority girl Tree, that's her name, is forced to relive the same day over and over again until she figures out who her murderer is. This is less a horror movie or a slasher movie, even though it does contain slasher elements. It's more of a mystery, more of a thriller, but it is sort of a slasher light. It also is more in the comedic vein. There's quite a bit of humor to it. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was very entertaining. And, you know, if you've seen Groundhog Day, you kind of know how they're going to play with the formula in this one. And it's not exactly predictable, but it's not really groundbreaking either. But it's a lot of fun and definitely something to watch with friends. And I like this one so much, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Next up is 1968's Rosemary's Baby, starring Mia Farrow and John Cassavetes. This also stars Ruth Gordon and Sidney Blackmer and Ralph Bellamy. And this was directed by Roman Polanski, and, you know, whatever your thoughts on him, I'll just, I'm not going to go there. This is an excellent, excellent movie. I didn't really know what to expect going into this. I knew it was considered a classic on the level of like The Omen and The Exorcist, but I had never seen it and I didn't know really what I was getting myself into. So I just sat down and kind of let it wash over me, and I really enjoyed it. It's not a movie that you would consider like scary as in jump scary, but it's super atmospheric. It's very creepy. The performances all around are universally good, and I can't say enough about this. It's really creepy because this is something, I mean, I don't want to get too into the plot because I don't want to spoil anything. But it is something that is conceivably could happen, at least in terms of what happens to Mia Farrow's character in this. What the actual outcome is, your mileage may vary on whether you think that's believable. But I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit, and I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Definitely worth seeing. Next up is 2001's Pulse. This is a Japanese horror film, and this was directed by, I'm going to mangle the guy's name, and I apologize. It is Kiyoshi Kurosawa, I believe, is how you pronounce his name. This is a movie that I had to watch twice to really appreciate. The first time I watched it, I was kind of tired, and I started nodding off during it, and that's not a condemnation of the movie at all. I was just super tired. Like I said, I've been sick, so I missed a few things, and when I woke up, I was like, that didn't make any sense whatsoever. So I watched it again and realized that this is a movie that you really have to pay attention to. There are two intersecting plot lines. I really won't get into the nitty-gritty of what it's about, other than it's sort of a ghost story tied into technology. It's very dreamlike. The imagery is super creepy, but it is a movie that you have to pay attention to and really sink your teeth into. It's not something that I would recommend for, jump scare fans, because I don't even think there's one jump scare in this. But it's just exceptionally creepy. You do have to read subtitles to get anything out of this, or you won't know what the hell's going on. But it is really sort of a commentary on the internet, our the social constructs around the internet. And this was made in 2001, so it was sort of very, I don't want to say it predicted the future, but it had a lot to say about the internet that nobody was saying in 2001, but people are saying now, and I think it's really worth seeing. And this I give an 8 out of 10. And then last, but definitely not least, I watched Creepshow from 1982. This is an anthology film that was directed by George A. Romero, who directed Dawn of the Dead, of course, and Stephen King, who, of course, you know him from his many books and the many movies made from his books. But this is the first time he actually wrote a screenplay directly for the screen. And this was meant to sort of emulate or is inspired by the EC comics, the pulpy horror fiction comics from the 40s and 50s. And this does a really good job of conveying the humor and the horror of those comics. Very macabre, very interesting. Special effects done by Tom Savini, the makeup effects. There are 5 stories plus a wraparound narrative. Very funny. I think most of the stories work really well. There's only one and it's the longest one, that I liked it, but I didn't think it was as good as the other 4. The narrative one is kind of a gimme. It's really just sort of to set everything up and get things going. But great cast in this. You've got Ted Danson, Leslie Nielsen, E.G. Marshall, Tom Atkins, Adrienne Barbeau, Hal Holbrook. Just a plethora of people. Ed Harris is in this in a very early role. This is a lot of fun. This would make a great movie to show at a Halloween party. And this I'm giving a 7.5 out of 10. Lots of fun. Maybe just a little bit too long, but still really good and really worth rewatching. So that's Creepshow from 1982. So there you go. I am completely caught up on the Halloween 15. For now, I have 2 more movies to review. That would be VHS and Evil Dead Rise. And hopefully I'll be able to do standalone video reviews for those in the near future before Halloween. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your patience. I apologize. I've been sort of out of the loop for a while. But hopefully I will be feeling a little bit better very soon. So thanks again for watching. Happy Halloween, and I hope you're enjoying the spooky season as much as I am. All right, take it easy, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks a lot. Bye.